Yong. Born into the dynastic heart of Sirius. Yong was born in 3198, a direct heir to the Li dynasty, whose influence stretched back to the founding of the Sirius Corporation in 2350. His family's name was synonymous with wealth, power, and vision, their history intertwined with the rise of one of humanity's most dominant corporate powers. From birth, Li was surrounded by the trappings of privilege, but also the unspoken burden of expectation, to uphold and advance the dynasty's hold over the corporate empire it had helped create. His upbringing was a careful balance of opulence and rigorous education. Tutors from across the galaxy were brought in to sharpen his intellect, while his early exposure to corporate decision-making gave him a practical understanding of the galaxy's economic and political currents. The young Li showed an early aptitude for understanding complex systems, an ability to see patterns where others saw only chaos. By the time he reached his mid-20s, Yong had earned doctorates in physics, politics, and economics. These were not ceremonial honors granted to a wealthy heir, but hard-earned achievements that showcased his analytical prowess. In physics, he mastered the mechanics of space travel and resource extraction. In politics, he dissected the power structures that bound systems together. In economics, he built models capable of predicting the rise and fall of markets across light years of distance. This academic foundation prepared him for the unique challenge of managing an empire where corporate strategy and governance were inseparably linked. Immediately after completing his studies, Li joined Sirius Corporation. His rise within its ranks was swift and calculated. At the age of 35, he became vice president of forecasting, a position that required him to anticipate economic and political trends across the galaxy. His predictions were renowned for their accuracy, allowing Sirius to move resources and influence with surgical precision. It was during this period that he refined his philosophy on order and chaos, a belief that what most perceived as randomness was merely the product of incomplete understanding. Li argued that every action, no matter how small, could be explained by enlightened self-interest. In his view, there were no irrational actors, only incomplete models. This perspective became the foundation of his leadership style, blending economic pragmatism with a kind of philosophical certainty. He saw governance as a science, one where stability could be engineered with the right incentives and information. In mid-3301, Yong ascended to the position of CEO of Sirius Corporation, uniting corporate authority with the leadership of Sirius Gov, the political branch overseeing the corporation's territories. Almost immediately, he embarked on ambitious revitalization programs. One of his first major initiatives was a call for osmium, aimed at bolstering the economies of key systems including HIP 8396, Almagest, Sothis, CEOs, and Robigo. Independent pilots from across inhabited space responded, delivering the precious resource in volumes that transformed infrastructure and secured Sirius's influence in those regions. Under Li's leadership, Sirius expanded not only its economic footprint, but also its role as a stabilizing force in contested regions. His ability to project calm authority earned him respect among Sirius citizens and corporate stakeholders alike. Where others saw volatility, he saw opportunity, opportunities that could be shaped and directed towards Sirius's enduring benefit. His specialization in data extrapolation became the cornerstone of his expertise. In an era where the ability to predict future events with accuracy was invaluable, Li's skills were in high demand. He developed sophisticated models that could analyze vast amounts of data, identifying patterns and trends that others might overlook. This ability to foresee potential outcomes allowed him to make informed decisions, positioning him as a visionary in the corporate world. Upon completing his education, Li was swiftly recruited by the Sirius Corporation. His transition from academia to the corporate sphere was seamless, as his analytical skills and innovative thinking were exactly what the corporation needed. Within a decade, he had risen to the position of vice president of forecasting, a role that placed him at the heart of strategic decision-making processes. In this capacity, Li was responsible for predicting market trends, technological advancements, and political shifts that could impact the corporation's interests. His forecasts were instrumental in guiding the corporation's investments and expansions. His ability to anticipate changes in the galactic landscape allowed Sirius Corporation to maintain its competitive edge and navigate the complexities of interstellar commerce and politics. Li's approach to forecasting was deeply rooted in his belief in the inherent order of the universe. He viewed chaos as a misinterpretation of incomplete data and believed that with sufficient information, all events could be predicted. This philosophy not only guided his professional endeavors, but also influenced his leadership style. He emphasized the importance of data-driven decision-making and sought to instill this mindset throughout the organization. His tenure as vice president of forecasting marked a period of significant growth and stability for the Sirius Corporation. Under his guidance, the corporation expanded its reach, entering new markets and solidifying its presence in existing ones. Li's strategic foresight ensured that the corporation remained adaptable and resilient in the face of challenges. In recognition of his contributions, Li was appointed to lead Sirius Gov, the governmental arm of the Sirius Corporation. This role allowed him to apply his forecasting expertise to the governance of systems under the corporation's control. He implemented policies that promoted economic growth, technological advancement, and social stability. Ascension to the helm of Sirius Gov. Yong's transition from a distinguished academic to the leader of Sirius Gov marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of governance within the Sirius Corporation. By 3301, his reputation as a visionary strategist had solidified, positioning him as the ideal candidate to steer the corporation's governmental arm. Upon assuming the role of CEO of Sirius Gov, Yong embarked on a mission to redefine the relationship between corporate entities and the systems under their influence. He introduced policies that emphasized self-governance, economic revitalization, and infrastructural development. One of his first initiatives was a call for osmium to revitalize the economies of key systems, including HIP 8396, Almagest, Sothis, CEOs, and Robigo. Independent pilots responded to this appeal, delivering the precious resource and facilitating the construction of new starports and the rejuvenation of local economies. Li's approach to governance was characterized by a blend of data-driven decision-making and a deep understanding of human behavior. He viewed the universe as inherently orderly and believed that with sufficient data, all events could be predicted. This philosophy underpinned his strategies, allowing him to navigate the complexities of interstellar politics with precision. His leadership was instrumental during periods of galactic tension. In 3306, as the Federation and Empire grappled with the Marlinist refugee crisis, Li intervened with a proposal to house the Marlinists in new colonies within unclaimed systems, granting them self-governance. This initiative not only alleviated the immediate crisis, but also showcased his ability to turn potential conflicts into opportunities for expansion and diplomatic success. Yong's ascension to the helm of Sirius Gov was more than a career advancement. It was a strategic move that reshaped the governance of a vast interstellar corporation. His tenure has been marked by a commitment to order, foresight, and the belief that with the right data, the future can be shaped to ensure prosperity and stability across the stars. Rescuing Antares, salvage, truth, and technological hope. Few events have cast as long a shadow as the disappearance of the Antares in 3251. This innovative passenger liner, heralded as a marvel of engineering, vanished during its maiden voyage, leaving behind only fragmented data and a tarnished reputation. By 3302, advancements in scanning technology had reached a point where the impossible seemed within reach. Yong, then CEO of Sirius Gov, recognized an opportunity not only to uncover the fate of the Antares, but also to restore the corporation's standing in the eyes of the galaxy. He initiated a comprehensive search, appealing to independent pilots to assist in locating any remnants of the lost vessel. The response was overwhelming, with thousands of tons of debris delivered to Davy Dock in the Procyon system. According to Sirius Corp's analysis of recovered pieces of the wreckage, the malfunction that caused the ship's destruction was more likely than not simply the result of a tragic accident. In July 3302, Sirius Corporation unveiled a memorial to honor the victims of the Antares incident, crafted by renowned artist Delvin Horgan. This gesture not only paid tribute to those lost, but also marked a turning point in the corporation's narrative, a shift from tragedy to resilience. Yong Rui's handling of the Antares affair exemplified his leadership philosophy, viewing the universe as inherently orderly and believing that with sufficient data, all events could be predicted. Forging prosperity, osmium appeals, and Marlinist colonies. In the early 3300s, Sirius Corporation, under the leadership of Yong Rui, faced the challenge of revitalizing its expanding territories. The systems of HIP 8396, Almagest, Sothis CEOs, and Robigo had recently been incorporated into the corporation's domain. To stimulate economic growth and infrastructure development in these regions, Yong Rui initiated a strategic campaign in August 3301, appealing to independent pilots to deliver osmium to HIP 8396. The response was overwhelming, with vast quantities of the precious metal transported, leading to the construction of new starports and the revitalization of local economies. This initiative not only bolstered the corporation's economic standing, but also demonstrated Yong Rui's adeptness at leveraging resource mobilization to achieve strategic objectives. In December 3306, as tensions escalated between the Federation and the Empire over the Marlinist refugee crisis, Li proposed a solution that would both alleviate the crisis and expand Sirius Corporation's influence. He suggested the establishment of independent colonies for Marlinist refugees in unclaimed systems. The proposal was met with approval from both the Federation and the Empire. By December 17, 3306, the necessary supplies for the colonies had been gathered and construction commenced. The first 8 colonies were completed by January 14, 3307, providing a haven for over 800 million Marlinist refugees. These colonies were self-governed, adhering to the republican ideals of Marlinism, and established a representative democracy with an elected first minister. The successful establishment of the Marlinist colonies not only provided a solution to a galactic crisis, but also showcased Yong Rui's ability to turn a potential conflict into an opportunity for expansion and diplomatic success. Hosting the Galactic Summit, Sovereignty without superpowers. In the early months of 3307, the galaxy stood at a crossroads. Tensions between the superpowers, the Federation, Empire, and Alliance, had reached a boiling point, and the need for a neutral ground to foster dialogue became undeniable. Simguru Pranavantal of Utopia proposed hosting a galactic summit, aiming to provide a platform for peaceful negotiations. However, Yong Rui, CEO of Sirius Corporation, saw an opportunity to assert his corporation's influence on the galactic stage. On January 18, 3307, Li issued a counterproposal, suggesting that Sirius Corporation host the summit. He argued that his organization possessed the logistical capabilities and security infrastructure necessary to ensure the safety and success of such a high-profile event. His proposal was met with skepticism by some, but garnered significant support from independent factions and neutral parties who viewed Sirius Corporation as a stabilizing force amid the superpowers' rivalries. The decision was put to a vote, with both Sirius Corporation and Utopia collecting data to demonstrate their preparedness. By January 28th, it was announced that Sirius Corporation had secured the hosting rights, having accumulated more data than Utopia. This victory was not just a testament to Sirius Corporation's resources, but also to Yong Rui's strategic acumen in navigating the complex political landscape. The summit was scheduled to commence on February 25th, 3307, at Patterson Enterprise in the Sirius system. To ensure the event's success, Lee implemented a unique security arrangement. Each week of the summit would be overseen by a different superpower: the Federation, the Empire, and the Alliance. This approach was designed to foster cooperation among the superpowers and to demonstrate serious corporations' neutrality and diplomatic prowess. However, the summit was not without controversy. On March 4th, 3307, Archon Delane, the notorious pirate lord, arrived at the summit with a delegation from the Kumo crew. His unexpected presence sparked outrage among several delegates, leading to protests and walkouts. Critics accused Yong of compromising the summit's integrity by allowing a known criminal to participate. In response, Lee defended his decision, stating that the inclusion of all voices, even those from the fringes of galactic society, was essential for comprehensive dialogue. Despite the challenges, the summit continued, and on March 11th, 3307, the superpowers agreed to the Cornelius-Lasky Convention. This treaty established protocols for sharing information on large-scale threats to civilian populations, including environmental, medical, and xenological crises. The agreement marked a significant step toward inter-superpower cooperation and highlighted the effectiveness of neutral mediation. The summit concluded on a note of cautious optimism. While not all issues were resolved, the event demonstrated that diplomacy, even in a galaxy rife with conflict, could yield tangible results. In the aftermath, some analysts speculated that the summit was part of a broader strategy by Yong to elevate serious corporation status. Defense through diplomacy, anti-xenopacts, and public reassurance. In the face of escalating Thargoid incursions and the growing need for interstellar unity, Yong, CEO of Sirius Corporation, recognized an opportunity to position his organization as a stabilizing force in galactic defense. His approach was not through military might, but through strategic alliances and diplomatic engagement, aiming to bolster public confidence and assert Sirius Corporation's role as a key player in safeguarding humanity. In early 3308, the Alliance of Independent Systems found itself grappling with the increasing threat of Thargoid aggression. Prime Minister Edmund Mahone sought to enhance the Alliance's defense capabilities by exploring partnerships with external entities. Recognizing the potential benefits, Yong proposed a strategic defense pact between Sirius Corporation and the Alliance, offering advanced technology and logistical support to bolster the Alliance Defense Forces, ADF, anti-xeno operations. The proposal was met with both interest and skepticism within the Alliance Assembly. Concerns were raised about the implications of allowing a corporate entity to exert influence over military matters. In response, Yong addressed the Assembly directly, emphasizing the importance of a trial period to assess the effectiveness of the partnership. He stated, "To share its details before the Alliance can experience its benefits may lead to hasty decisions. Instead, we propose that Sirius Corporation is provided with an opportunity to demonstrate how we can enhance Allied security against the Thargoids." After deliberation, the Alliance Assembly agreed to a 3-month probationary period for the pact, allowing both parties to evaluate its effectiveness. This decision was seen as a cautious step toward collaboration, balancing the need for enhanced defense capabilities with the desire to maintain the Alliance's sovereignty. During the trial period, Sirius Corporation provided the Alliance with advanced anti-xeno technologies, including specialized ship configurations and weaponry. These resources were integrated into the ADF's operations, resulting in improved coordination and effectiveness in combating Thargoid threats. The partnership also facilitated joint training exercises and intelligence sharing, strengthening the Alliance's overall defense posture. Despite the successes, the collaboration was not without controversy. Some factions within the Alliance expressed concerns about the growing influence of Sirius Corporation, fearing that the corporation's involvement in military affairs could undermine the Alliance's democratic principles. These factions called for increased transparency and oversight to ensure that the partnership did not compromise the Alliance's autonomy. In response to these concerns, Li Yong reaffirmed Sirius Corporation's commitment to supporting the alliance without overstepping its bounds. He emphasized that the corporation's role was to provide assistance and expertise, not to assume control. Sirius Corporation's involvement is solely to enhance the alliance's capabilities, he stated. We respect the alliance's sovereignty and are here to support, not to lead. The trial period concluded with a review by the Alliance Assembly, which acknowledged the benefits of the partnership, but also highlighted areas for improvement. While the pact was not renewed, the collaboration set a precedent for future cooperation between independent corporations and interstellar governments in addressing common threats. The model of governance, order, data, and the legacy of Li Yong. Li Yong's tenure as CEO of Sirius Corporation and head of Sirius Gov marked a transformative era in galactic governance. His vision, rooted in the belief that all human behavior could be predicted and managed through data, reshaped the way societies interacted with power and authority.